Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about the book which is The Money Reset by Gemma Mitchell. So, about the author Gemma Mitchell, she is one of the hosts for Australian Finance Podcast, which I really like and I follow it regularly. They release a couple of episodes per week, and she explains a lot of complex topics in a simple manner. So, I really like it. And she wrote a book. Obviously, it was mentioned in the podcast as well. So this was released in August, like 2 months back, August end around that time. So I got it from the local library, and since then I was reading it. Overall, I really like the book, the premise, and overall the concept and all. Maybe if you are this comes under like a personal finance book, but if you are like already read like few other books, maybe you will not find nothing like path breaking. Okay, this is a step I never listened or I never came across, like something like that. But otherwise it is very simple and easy to read, and kind of worksheets or as also was all present in the book, we can easily follow along. But ideally premise of the book is money reset. So the reset is like, if there is any big event happened in our life, like what author mentioned was like kind of a divorce or death of a partner, or maybe injuries or something like a major event happened in our lives, then how do you reset all the things and how do you plan your money and everything? That's all is, as you see on the screen, like 12 steps. So in the book, like each step is one chapter. So that's how it was divided. And also, as I mentioned, like there are worksheets as well in the middle where you can follow and you can mention, or you can write down those steps, and you can actually what needs to be done on that step, you can do it on the book itself. So some of that. So let's go briefly about all the steps. So taking stock, obviously there's a major event means there is a lot of emotional baggage will be there. First need to understand that and accept that emotions and everything, and taking stock in a sense that understand what is our net worth, where what are the assets, what are the liabilities, where we are in the life, and all the things. And second is setting up your I just wrote a couple of notes as well for myself. So in one of the in first chapter, she mentioned one of the place that I really like, that sentence. Remember this. This is your starting line, your race, your pace. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you are the only one in it for your money. And also, there was um, ask yourself. I mean, this is a general quotation, but it very much apt to that book in that first chapter. Ask yourself, if nothing changes, what does life look like a day, a week, or even a year from now? Am I okay with that? So then goes to the second chapter, like setting up your safety net. So before that first chapter, like as I was mentioning, worksheets and all. So in the book itself, you have like, okay, where you can mention the assets and liabilities, and then calculate your net worth and everything. So that's a good aspect of it as well. Obviously, I didn't do it because it's a library book. And the second is setting up your safety net. So this safety net is like something like your non-negotiable. Um, like I mean, your family and you, food, shelter, basic necessities for them. So those are kind of some non-negotiable for us. So understanding what are the non-negotiables, and also setting up your safety net. So safety net is, in this case, as we mostly talk about in personal finance, is the sorry, emergency fund. So like it can be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whoever is like I mean, whichever months of expenses we are comfortable, we can maintain that. It might not be, we might not be able to achieve that immediately, but it can, but we can slowly build that emergency fund. So that's where she talk about that safety net. Also, one concept she mentioned I really like, and I follow that as well. I mean, from a while back. So your sleep at night test. So it's a balance very much. Like if someone we say, oh, sleep at night test, then I don't want to take any risks. That's not what she was talking about. She's talking about mainly that peace of mind versus avoiding discomfort. So we're not talking about like avoid discomfort at all, because any investment you do, there is a risk involved and you will feel some discomfort. Otherwise, you will never grow of it. But what everyone has their own values and goals, or whatever their money values for them. So don't take any decision which is against your instinct or against your values, so that it will disturb your sleep at night. So I can give you an example of mine. So from the starting, when I started job, I am always against giving loans to others, to friends and families. I stick to that rule for a long time. That's my value. I don't want to take a risk. And as they say, once you give the money, you either lose the money or you lose the relation. I didn't want to do it, but at some point in time, like after a few years, I gave an exemption to very close friend and relative of mine, a large chunk of money. But I think overall in my money journey, that is what made me a lot of sleepless nights. Eventually, I didn't get the money, and obviously, relation also was not there, and a huge chunk of money I lost. So that kind of value. So, but if I invest in a stock market where I believe, or maybe mutual funds or something, I believe that I will be able to sleep peacefully at night. So there's something like it touched me when she mentioned the topic, because I did face that and I came out of those whichever is discomfort, whichever is like, so sleep at night test. So whatever investment I do, I don't try to like, okay, fear of missing out or anything. As long as I am able to sleep peacefully, that's my investment. So I'll not go against my instinct. So then in this chapter, like safety net, she also mentioned about one other thing is like you can't grow alone. So you need a village. That's what she mentions. Build your village. Build your village in this case is mainly about like you need a family, you need friends, and you need maybe advisors, so like financial advisors or insurance advisors or mortgage brokers. So there are a lot of people will try to help you. So you and accountants and everything. So you need to build your village who can help you. You can't reach your goals alone. So that's one thing. And yeah, moving on to the next step, making over your money mindset. This is what I really like the chapter about. So she is mentioning, she mentioned about all the type of money mindsets. So it's all based on like how we have grown. So what are our money experiences from the childhood? That's what, based on that, our money mindset will shape out. So she did mention some of those money mindset, like scarcity. Some people will feel scarcity of it always, and abundance, survival, avoidance, status, security, generosity. So there, as the name, those are the names suggest like some of those characteristics of a person. Like how do they view the money? So, and also she did suggest like you should not be having one of the mindset. You can have a balance and combined mindset of it. You can't just say always scarcity, and you can't just say abundance, like you live like for today without bothering about tomorrow. You can't do that as well. So it's there should be a balance of it. And she also mentioned some of the biases like present bias, confirmation bias, and herding bias. So, and if I go to the third one, make yeah, one of the sentence she mentioned, I really liked it again. Money is just a tool, a resource used to meet your needs and reach your goals. It's a learned skill, no matter your age. This is what I really like. Money is a learned skill. I know a lot of people keep mentioning like I'm not interested in finance. I don't want to look at those calculations and all. But I strongly believe health and wealth, there is nothing for you to get interested because they will make you interest. So you have to get interested into this health and wealth. So it's a learned skill. Nobody is born with that money management skills. You just need to learn no matter your age. So moving on to the fourth point, resetting your goals. So resetting your goals is mainly about okay, now you have an emotional setback or whatever the major event happened. Now next, what are your goals? You want to buy a house, you want to take care of your kids, education, all the other stuff, retirement, all these things. So resetting your goals. And fifth step, budgeting for the new you. So you create a budget, like how do you want to balance the savings and spending and all these things. And sixth one is boost your income. So boost your income. She did mention like other than the your maybe job or main business, you like you're having a job, like what are the other side hustles you can do and increase your income. We briefly touched on some of those, like maybe tutoring, building some online blogs or all that stuff. And seventh step is doubling down the debt, so which is kind of mainly taking a stock of all the liabilities or debts we have. So which are all like which is high interest. Obviously, credit card is a highest interest debt. So where we will focus on, we need to pay that as quickly as possible. But on the other aspect, like you have a house debt as well, which is okay because interest rate will be a bit less and you can't just pay off immediately. So like that, balance out all your debts and paying out. And also, she did mention the snowballing effect. Like if you are the very small amount once, like finish it very quickly so that you only have a large one spending. And eighth one, planning your property path. So Australia is very crazy about all the properties. Everyone is like crazy about housing and all the things. So she did mention a couple of points on the property. How do you plan renting, buying, or rent vesting, and where do you want to retire, and all that stuff. And maximize ninth step, maximizing your super simply. So this talk about all the superannuation charges, returns, like selecting investment option, all that stuff. And 10th one is planning for the unexpected. So planning for the unexpected is mainly about insurances, personal insurances, mainly life insurance, total permanent disability insurance, trauma insurance, as well as income protection, because we are our own huge asset. Because if we can't earn, then we have to have a backup plans. So that's where your personal insurances will come into the picture. And 11th one is really I like, which is a little bit different, protecting your financial future. Um, so this protecting your financial future, I did write a couple of points here. She mainly talked about a relationship. So relationship with your spouse, your kids, as well as your parents. So how do you talk money things with all these three people? I mean, three major people in your life. So spouse, how do you talk? What are your visions and like your spouse vision, do they align, or where you are coming across? So those things. And those I read like already multiple times, those things. But what she mentioned for like kids and parents is one thing which um, I really like. One second, I'm just going to, yeah, raising money smart kids, which I really like. I do speak some money things with my kids. Obviously, my daughter is very young; she is like 5.5, but my son is 11 years old, so I do speak some of the money things with him. So there is few things she mentioned. I do follow that. Raising money smart kids, lead by example, show, not just say. I can just say don't spend on this, but if I am spending, there is no point. Make money a normal conversation. Yeah, as it says, differentiate wants from needs. Obviously, they would ask like whatever things they want, but is it really necessary or want or need? That's one thing. Involve them in decisions. I don't do this very often. Maybe I need to think about it. Frame money in a positive way instead of we can't afford that. We are choosing to spend our money on a different thing right now. So uh, this is what she mentioned about the money mindset initially as well. Like, how do we shape our kids' money mindset? If we keep saying that we can't afford this, we can't do that, we have money scarcity, they will feel that money pressure in themselves as well. So that this is a good way of saying like, okay, we are choosing to spend the current money on this. So that's why we are not focusing on the other things rather than saying we can't afford that right now. So I really like that kids part, like how do we talk to the kids and all. Um, the next piece in this one was money talks with parents and grandparents. Obviously, I never spoke. None of my grandparents are alive right now. So both my father's side and mother's side. And also, I never spoke. I'm too young. I was too young. I never spoke money matters with any of them. But with parents, this is what interesting. I didn't read this before, but yeah, she mentioned about broader aspects of like how do you speak. Obviously, this is in more Australian context, but I do feel I spoke few times with my father about all that money. I think we always had. I think I ever had any conflict with my father in whole my life that is related to money, because what I invest and I look at the money is in completely different way compared to my father, because because they born and brought up in one environment and in one era, and I am born and brought up in a different era. So the way we think see things are completely different. He loves real estate. I don't like real estate at all, especially in Indian context. So that's how the investments and all. But yeah, money talks with parents are always challenging. Yeah, she did mention about few aspects around it. And the last one is finding freedom in flexibility. So obviously there is a big talk about financial freedom and all that stuff and all. She did mention that, but she also mentioned that this is not an end goal. This is a like ongoing exercise of like financial freedom. But we need to be flexible enough. We can't just stick to one rule and just go about it. The anything can happen. Obviously, life will never go according to your plan. So you need to find a flexibility in like whatever is come at you. Just make a another plan and find the flexibility. You can't be just rigid like okay, I'll just follow this plan. That's where she mentioned the last step, like finding freedom and flexibility. So overall, I did read two times actually. I mean, first time I read it like mm, quickly. Second time I did reread about like what all the steps. I really liked her explanation. Overall, I really liked the three steps mainly she mentioned. Like second step, setting up your safety net. Um, 10th and 11th ones. sorry, um, 11th one and 12th one. So protecting your financial future and finding freedom and flexibility. Obviously, all the steps are very important, but I already read like some of these personal finance concepts before. But these some of the steps, how she mentioned is I really like the book. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.